Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I'm Jessica. Welcome to our live video feed. And today I have a guest joining me.
Hey guys.
This is Neil. Neil is our lead designer here at Roadrunner Sports. And since I'm trying to be the Oprah of Roadrunner, I got him here to help me talk about the Reebok Speed collection. So let's meet Neil because you don't know him as well as I do. Neil and I do lunch workouts every day together.
Every single day.
Every single day we do so many burpees together.
Yes.
So why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about you. Also, side note, before we get into the nitty gritty, feel free to ask any questions today about the shoes, about our workouts, any training tips that you might ask us for. That's what we're here for. That's why we do those videos. So, Neil, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. So as Jessica mentioned, I am the lead designer here at Roadrunner Sports. Basically, anything that you guys see that represents Roadrunner Sports, myself and my team put together the creative designs that go behind that. So that's what I do. When I'm not doing that, working out with this chick, and like she said, it's boot camp workouts, the hit type workouts, and I've been doing that for years. So I've had my share of plenty of different shoes that I've tried these workouts in, and hopefully I can offer some good information for you guys.
Yeah, so today we're talking about the Reebok Speed collection. And I wanted Neil here today because even though these are in the collection together, they're a little bit different for men and women. So I wanted a little bit of a different perspective from a male as I talk about the female shoe. So the female version is called the Speed TR. It just launched in February. It's this beautiful blush color. And then it's so fancy. And the men's is just the Speed TR 2.0. Okay. So the main difference, let's talk about really fast, is the upper. And you can kind of tell that the uppers are a little bit different. The women's is just a woven textile upper, while the men's is, they call it like a cordura upper, and it's a little bit more durable than this guy. They're both durable, but they have a different feel. So Neil, what is your favorite thing about the Speed TR? What was your favorite workout to do in it?
Well, hard to say. I've probably done about 5 or 6 different workouts since I received this shoe, and safe to say I've done pretty much every kind of workout you can do, from everything from box jumps to burpees to push-ups to mountain climbers to rope climbs to gosh, you name it, anything inside the gym, lifting as well. One thing as Jessica just mentioned, that this has a kind of rugged sort of fabric to it, and it actually worked great for the rope climb. In tandem with the rubber that they've got on the side, you can see here some of the tread goes sideways. If you were to wrap the rope around and under, like most people do, that side kind of tread helped a ton with creating grip on the rope, and I almost never had any slippage. I should say. But my favorite thing is just the versatility. I work out almost exclusively in Nano 3.0s. So I'm pretty old school like that, and they just haven't failed me yet. So yeah. So what is that, like 2012 or something? But those shoes have been great, and finally put these on, give them a try. They work great. Not as broken in as my 3.0, so that elasticity wasn't there. But after a few workouts in, I started to feel that these could be a pretty good shoe. In addition, I've worked out in strictly running shoes, which doesn't really work out all that well just because it's a running shoe. So let's just try it the one time. And I have used Metcons as well. And so there are differences there. We can get into that in a bit if you want to talk more about the shoe. Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, my favorite thing is the versatility of the shoe.
Yes, this shoe is super versatile, all right? So while some shoes for training shoes are made specifically for like weightlifting and you don't want to do anything else, these are really versatile in your classes. So you can do lifting, you can do some cardio, some lateral movements, you can do rope climbs, because like Neil was saying, this has a rope climb like little segment here on the outsole, okay? So if you were to wear your running shoes while you climb ropes, they're going to be totally annihilated in less than a week, all right? So these have a super grippy outsole. This is everyone's favorite thing about this shoe, and it's our favorite thing, is that you could do 100 burpees like Neil did today, because he is a badass and he's crazy.
Oh, he's just crazy.
Yeah, he's just crazy. He did 100 burpees right before we sat down here. So The outsole, like I was saying, is super grippy and super supportive. So a lot of studios have like a really slippery surface. And so when you're doing mountain climbers and burpees and planks, your feet can tend to slide and you have to kind of always be adjusting. These, you just stay where you're at, all right? And which makes you feel really supported, especially during mountain climbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
One women's specific thing about this guy is it has a nice little booty construction, very feminine, but very comfortable. It's very soft. And the men's does not have that, but it does have a nice soft collar on the outside as well. So guys, feel free to ask any questions about these shoes, all right? We won't just ramble on. Actually, we will just ramble on because we love talking to you guys about this stuff. But if you have any specific questions for us, just let us know. Rachel on Instagram asked us, she said she needs extra cushion because of back issues. Is this a good shoe for this? Well, Rachel, if you're doing training workouts, like in the gym, a lot of those shoes aren't going to give you like superior cushion, like a running shoe, but you can have these shoes and have your own custom insole made from Roadrunner Sports. You can make your own custom insole online or in our stores, and that's going to help you with those back, hip issues, knee issues, because they're going to be custom made for you, okay? So hopefully that helps answer your question. There isn't a lot of cushioning in training shoes because you're doing lateral movements, all right? So running shoes are built for forward motion, okay? But these shoes are built for side to side, for jumping up, for jumping out, okay? They want to give you the support that you need for lateral movements, okay? Not just running forward forever. So Amanda asked, are they good for sprints? Did you do sprints in them?
I didn't do sprints, but based on the workouts, well, like the mountain climbers that you just mentioned, we did a ton of those last week. And you can feel it right away as you're doing the movement and your foot goes back and you have to bring it right back up. The traction is there. So I would liken that to doing sprints where you have the traction and the flexibility in the toe to be able to get that kind of movement in the sprint. But like Jessica mentioned as well, these are good for any direction. So when you get into your sprint and you come to that point where you stop and change direction again, I mean, you can even see just on the bottom, all this tread going in all different directions is built for that. So I didn't slip at all when I use these. I imagine that for sprints, you wouldn't either.
Yeah, Amanda, I've used them for treadmill sprints and for treadmill pushes. There's this thing that I use called an S-Drive trainer, which is like a treadmill, but you propel yourself. Super aggressive. And I love this bottom unit. So I've done that in the Grace TR, which is a very similar shoe to this by Reebok, the same bottom unit. And I love how the traction feels on the treadmill when I'm doing sprints like that. So Amanda, hopefully that answers your question. Somebody else asked, what kind of fabric are these shoes? So this is a woven textile. I'll try to kind of push it up there for you guys. You can kind of hear it. And then this is what they call Cordura, and it's also a textile, but it's a little bit more breathable and more mesh. So you can kind of see, the men's is hard to see, I know, because of the color, but it has more mesh, a little bit more breathable than the women's, but the women, and both the tongues are kind of like a lightweight mesh as well. So good questions.
I want to tag on too. I know you mentioned cushion and getting custom insoles done here at Roadrunner Sports. I would highly recommend that if you have high arches like I do. For a long time, I suffered from plantar fasciitis, where you basically are hurting the arch of your foot without having any support, and it just makes it really hard to walk, first of all. But to avoid that, if you have high arches, I would recommend getting custom insoles just to have the arch support. I've used these without arch support, and they're fine for 30 minutes, an hour-long workouts. But if you were to keep doing it regularly, I would recommend, again, getting some kind of support in there. But for lifting, you need that flatness there to make sure your heels stay down in the lift and have good form.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions, and Irene from Instagram asked, kind of that she needs a stability shoe. Now, let's not think of neutral and stability in the training category. So that is sort of like a little like a running mentality, right? Because when you're running forward for a long period of time and your ankles roll in and you need that stability, then you need to be put in a stability shoe. But for training, most shoes are what we call just neutral because they're going to have that medial support anyway because a lot of them have a wrap. So they're stable for stability people, all right? They're neutral for neutral people. Like Neil was saying, if you want more stability and a little bit more of a custom fit, you should try insoles in your training shoes. So a lot of people don't like training shoes because they're so used to amazing cushioned running shoes. They're like, forget it. Like, I'm just gonna use my running shoes. Don't do it. Don't be that person. All right. 98% of the people in our classes and the classes I teach, they're wearing running shoes and they're complaining about, oh, my hips hurt, my knees hurt. I can't do side shuffles because my knee falls out of place. I mean, it's aggressive. All right. So if you have a training shoe that is good for side-to-side motion, you don't really need neutral or stability support. It's just going to be an overall supportive shoe. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about training, okay? We're not talking about running today. We talk about running all the time, but people are doing a lot of training, all right? That's how you get to be a little bit of a better runner, a stronger runner. You're going to build that core muscle. And you're doing a lot more functional fitness. So these shoes are great for what, Neil?
Everything. If you've done a boot camp class or just being in the gym or seen it on TV, this is the shoe that you would probably use or you should use. As I've mentioned before, I've come from many years of working out in a Nano 3.0, which is a very old version of another version of this shoe. And I've used this for about 2 weeks now, and this shoe is just great for everything. It's an all-around great high-intensity training type of shoe. Whether you're rope climbing, box jumping, sprinting, mountain climbers, squats, you name it, and this shoe will do for you. I'm going to go into it again. The tread on the shoe is probably one of the best things about this shoe.
The best.
You look at it and you see the grooves for all the tread going in all directions. This middle section specifically being used for rope climbing, where you get the rope under there and it locks it in place. The rope doesn't shift once you get under there. And again, for side-to-side movements, this tread is ready for it.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. We had somebody ask what sizes they're available in. Women's is 6 to 11. Men's is 8 to 13 or 14, I believe, but probably 13. Just kind of your normal run-of-the-mill sizes, 6 to 11 for women's, 8 to 13 for men's. They're both $100. So $100. I know sometimes that seems a little steep, but there's a lot of functionality and a lot of performance in this shoe for only $100. Right now, we only have one color of each, but I think they're both pretty baller colors, all right? This is a navy, if you can't quite tell based on your screen. This is a pretty blush pink. And then there are 3 millimeter drops. So they're lower to the ground, so you're gonna feel way more stable when you're doing squats, lunges. You're not gonna have that weird knee side movement like you have in running shoes. They're gonna be a lot more stable. So I think that's kind of all we wanted to talk about today. So let's give you the rundown again. So they are perfect for high intensity training, speed training, functional fitness. So if you're going to Barry's boot camp or Orange Theory, these are perfect, okay? If you're going to a class that is very heavy into lifting, like if you're doing Olympic weightlifting, I wouldn't necessarily recommend these. I'd go for that Nano Metcon combo. So these are very different than the Nano and the Metcon, as they're much more versatile, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, much more versatile, much more functional. They're $100. They have a 3 millimeter drop. They come in one color each. Normal sizing. Best to use with a custom insole if you have issues already. And number one rule, do not wear your running shoes to a training class, okay? I'm going to preach it for the rest of my life. You guys are going to hear about it all the time, okay?
And listen, you can work out in these, go high intensity, be a total, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can
be a total badass in the gym. And when you're done, don't change out of them. they could qualify for a 24/7 line, I think. I would
You're
wear
right.
these after the gym
You're
as well.
You're right.
Um,
He's good. I
yeah.
pay him well.
This is like, and so honestly, this is a good-looking shoe, and it's also very versatile and works in the gym.
Yes, this is the cutest brunch shoe, right? You could totally be a badass in the morning, go straight to brunch in these. They are part of our 24/7 collection because they are comfortable enough to wear. I'm actually wearing mine right now. I would show you, but I'd kick Neil in the face. I wore them to work today. They're super comfy. So that's it. If you want to ask more questions after this video, a lot of people watch this video on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram afterward. Just go ahead and ask your questions and we'll answer them to the best of our ability after this video has aired. So we thank you guys. Thank you, Neil.
Sure.
All right.
Anytime.
Go Jessica for being the Oprah Roadrunner. We will see you guys next week with a new pair of shoes to talk about. And I'll see you then. Bye.